Good morning and good Chodesh. Today is Tuesday, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the first day of the month of Nisan, the month of redemption, the month of Passover, the month of miracles, and we're getting closer to Pesach. Got to get ready for that. Of course, there is also the blessing we say in this month when we see fruit trees starting to grow, the blossom. We have a special blessing to say, and we'll put the instructions in the link at the bottom. And also we're getting ready for Pesach, so one of the things that says in the Torah, we should help those who are in need. There is the campaign which is called the Kimcha, the Pischa, the money for the wheat, for people who cannot afford to buy the matzahs and the needs for Passover. So we help out some families as well. So if you want to donate to that, that is a big mitzvah. There's also a link in the description at the bottom. Let's begin with tzedakah. Gedola tzedakah, shemekarebes isageula. Tzedakah brings Mashiach closer. So we continue in chapter 39. We spoke yesterday about those special tzaddikim who reach the level of Atzilus. Their soul is connected with the world of Atzilus. And we explained the world of Atzilus is the world where godliness is revealed in a way that is complete nullification to Hashem. Those are very unique tzaddikim, like the patriarchs, that they were like a chariot to Hashem. Other tzaddikim, they reach only to the level, their soul reaches the level of Beriah, the world of creation, which is the world of the godly intellect is revealed. And those are the tzaddikim that they serve Hashem with love and fear that is generated by the intellect, by understanding the greatness of Hashem. And continues the Alter Rebbe now today and says that even the tzaddikim that do not regularly reach the level of Atzilus, they can reach there occasionally in special times when there is a special godly revelation and auspicious times from above that it helps them to reach to that place. And the times, the example that the Alter Rebbe brings is during the prayer of the Amida. The Amida prayer, the Shmoyne Esra, we call it the 18 blessings we say. The prayer that we stand silently, and that is a time when the neshamas is able to go up to the higher level. Now, to understand this in brief, to explain this in briefly, so we have the prayer that we say every morning, every day. In general, prayer is called the ladder that connects us to Hashem. The ladder is with 4 rungs, which corresponds to the 4 worlds. The beginning of the prayer is about admitting, Moide Ani, Haudul Hashem, admitting to Hashem. This is the beginning of the prayer. The admitting and submitting to Hashem is on the level of the world of Asiyah, the world of action. We start from the lowest, and we try to connect to Hashem even though we don't yet understand. So that is the first rung of the prayer, when we submit and we admit to Hashem that Hashem is everything, regardless of whether we understand it or not. Then we go to the next level. During the prayer, there is the blessings from Baruch She'amar, the blessings that we read the verses, the psuki, the zimra, the blessings of the songs, which talk about the creation, talk about the wonders of creation, the mountains, the oceans, and different forces of nature. We You saw yesterday the eclipse, crazy things that are not natural things. I mean, natural things, but in the nature you see amazing things. The sun itself. You see the sun. One of the examples of infinity in this world is the power of the sun. The sun is something which is in its full strength from the day we know it, we see it until today. It doesn't get weaker. And here comes the moon and conceals it. And there's different things we learn by saying those verses, which leads us to the next step, which is the world of Yetzirah. World of Yetzirah is the world of emotions. Emotionally we connect. Then after we have the blessings of the Shema. And the Shema, which represents the world of Beriah, the world of understanding. We talk about the angels. We talk about the grasping, the understanding of the higher angels. And we talk about our own understanding, asking Hashem to connect us in that level. That is the world of Beriah. And finally, we get to Amida, the Amida prayer. This represents the world of Atzilut, the world where the only thing that is there is the presence of God. And we are completely nullified, completely submit ourselves as if we don't exist. This is why the prayer is said in silence. It's not about us, it's about Hashem's presence. That's what we at least supposed to feel during this prayer. And this is also the reason why in the prayer we bow down. Back in the days, the bowing down was completely, in the Holy Temple they would bow down. The idea of bowing down is completely to prostrate oneself completely, the head lying flat, submitting to Hashem. And the idea of the bowing is my head, my understanding is equal as the rest of the body. I'm nothing. I'm completely submitting to Hashem. And that is doing the prayer of Amida. So what the Alter Rebbe says is that even those tzaddikim, that their neshama is not able to reach the level of Atzilus, the complete submission to Hashem on a regular basis. And the reason why they cannot do it is because the source of their soul is from the lower level, from the world of Beriah, not from Atzilus. What does that mean? Of course, we know all of the neshamas, all of the souls, they all come from Atzilus, from the highest level. However, when it comes down to the body, to this physical world, they have different neshamas, take different routes. Some souls come directly from Atzilus without any filtering, go straight into the body, like the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu and the great tzaddikim. Then there are souls that they have a stop, and they're filtered, so to speak, in the world of Beriah, in the world of the godly intellect. And then the neshama goes down further down. So the source of the neshama, meaning where the neshama was filtered from, this is what enables the person to reach to that level. You cannot reach a level which is above your neshama. So, however, occasionally, even those neshamas from a lower place, they're able occasionally to reach to the higher levels. And how is that? How are they able to do it? Because it's not them who's doing it. It is a eis ratzon milamayla. It is a time of will, a time of auspicious time that from above Hashem comes and reveals himself to them. The example being what our sages tell us in the Medrash, that during the time when the Jewish people were they were crossing the sea, when there was the splitting of the sea, there was godly revelation. Even it says the Roasa Shifcha Alayam, the simple maid that came out with the Jewish people, she was able to see more than the prophet Ezekiel. Yecheskel, son of Buzi, did not see. Of course, we're talking about a great prophet in his book. He talks about all of the godly revelation, but he did not see as much as a simple maid crossing the sea. And what does that mean? Cheskel ben Buzi obviously was a very high-level human being, a prophet who was purified and elevated and is able to achieve great achievements and see great things, godliness. But this was what he was doing on himself. He was purifying himself and elevating himself and reaching that level. And then he received the godly prophecy. But what happened at the sea was just a godly revelation from above. Not that the people were worthy to do it on their own. So this is the idea of having a godly revelation from above. And that is why even tzaddikim, people who are not, their source of their neshama is not from Atzilus, it's from the lower level, the world of Beria, or even lower. They are also able, from time to time, during the Amida prayer, to get some kind of connection to this world, to the world of Atzilus, and have this experience of a complete submission, complete nullification to Hashem. So let's see what the Alter Rebbe says inside. Says the Alter Rebbe, "Ach mi she'sheirish nishmasei katan meyachil avodah tamazu," but he whose soul's root is of too limited a capacity for this perfect service on the level of a chariot to reach the level of the world of Atzilus. Libatel velikolel ba'oiro yizborech ba'avidose b'kvius, so that through his service of Torah and mitzvahs, he be constantly nullified before and absorbed in God's light. Rak lefrokim ve'itim shehein eis ratzon l'mayla. And he can therefore attain this state only intermittently and only at times of divine favor on high. When there's a divine favor on high, he's able to do it. For example, during the prayer of Shmoneh Esrei, such as during the Shmoneh Esrei prayer, which is the Amida prayer, which is at the level of Atzilut, as we just explained the different rungs of the prayer, and especially during the bowing in the prayer of Amida. ובפרט בהשתחוות שבו, שכל השתחוות היא בבחינת אצילוס, and especially when bowing in the four designated places in this prayer, for every such act of bowing represents the level of Atzilus. As it is written in Pri Eitz Chaim, in the section dealing with the welcoming of Shabbat. Ki inyan bitul oire izborech liyes chashiva kamei kaloi mamash. For it embodies the idea of self-nullification in God's light to be accounted as absolutely not before Him. And then, Azai gamkein ika kvius nishmasai hu ba'olam abriya. In the case of he who can attain the level of a chariot only at such propitious times, then even at these times, the principal abode of his soul is in the world of Beria, not in the world of Atzilus. For we are dealing with here with the souls associated with the world of Beria. And that is, of course, also a very high level. Not everybody has that level. Most of us come from the world of Yetzirah, the lower level. רק לפרוקים בעז רוצן תעלה נשמוס אל האצילוס כבבחינס מים נוקבים כדידוע לידיכן. and only occasionally, at a time of divine favor, will his soul rise to Atzilus, as feminine waters as is known to the students of the Kabbalah. So again, we're talking about tzaddikim. How does it apply to us? In essence, every Jew has a tiny bit of tzaddik also. Not that we can reach that level to the full sense of the meaning of the word, but we are all, after all, we are all connected. And just like the month of Nisan, the Nisan Hashem elevates his miracles. The word Nes means from the word elevating, that everyone can be elevated, one to a certain extent. So when we take our prayers more seriously in the mornings, starting the day with praying to Hashem, this will help us to achieve some kind of spiritual feelings, and even a little bit will help us a lot. So this is the end of today's Shir Mirz Hashem. We shall continue tomorrow B'ezrat Hashem. Have a good Chodesh and a wonderful day.